Hey, your LA Clippers, and I'm saying that only because of location of where you're living. Uh, they were before the season, people were saying talent-wise, 1 through 15, they've assembled the most talent on a team. But because of Kawhi and Paul George, I think Kawhi has played uh, less than a third of the games, uh,
Right.
and the other guy has missed like 12 games of the
Mhm.
42. Um,
Mhm.
what must they do to make the playoffs? You know, they went from a team that could win the championship to make the playoffs and really be, a threat. You think?
Well, I was one of those people in the media and watching and I threw my 2 cents in there as well. What do you think of the Clippers? I said on paper, they look terrific. They have a lot of
Hmm.
depth. I love the fact that they had a lot of wing players, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. They had a lot of guys who could play on the wing. Terrence Mann. There were a lot of guys that, you're saying, wow, they could defend the Lucas, and they got a lot of players who could do that. The Jalen Browns, if they met those guys, the Seth Currys. Okay. However, they have a huge ingredient that's missing. I've never seen it happen before. I was teased and I was intrigued by what I saw in Toronto a couple of years ago. Your best player, or one of your best players, you put him in with no continuity, right? They just plugged him in. Kawhi Leonard was playing every other game. He missed a lot of games that year in Toronto, and lo and behold, they win a championship. Now I became intrigued. I had never seen that before, that you miss so many games and then it works out in the end. However, he's had some injuries since that time. He's coming off he's coming off of a significant injury now as we currently speak. And when you watch him play the other night, you go, God, if he plays like this, he has like 36, 38 points. You're saying what could be? I think coach the rest of the team, the role players in particular, they don't have any continuity or flow or rhythm, especially when it comes down to crunch time. How are you going to execute in what I call them need plays and must scoring defensive plays? There's a certain thing you learn about your team during the course of an 82 game schedule. The 82
Right.
game schedule is to me, the dress rehearsal before the dance.
Right.
And I don't think they have enough time to do it. Now, what I found intriguing as I look back on that Toronto team was they were a very veteran ball club. They had leadership. Kyle Lowry, Van Fleet, Marc Gasol. They had Serge Ibaka. They had veteran players who, if given an opportunity, they could perform because they were already pros. However, I don't know about this Clipper team, and I think Kawhi's leadership needs to be there every day so that they can learn how to play with him. But more importantly, what he has to do to help this team. And right now, they're losing games that, frankly, they should be winning.
Mm.
And they've lost a lot of those games, and a lot of those games is because those guys haven't been available. So, to me, it's very simple. The best ability is availability. You have
Mm.
to be available to play. It's very simple. I know it's cliche, but you got to be available, and that comes about with continuity and how to play as a team. And right now, when you watch those guys, some nights Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, when they play, they look fantastic.
Whew.
I
Amen.
mean, what a team. And but I've never seen it, so I'm going to just go with what I know, which is, what, if guys aren't available every night, what can you expect?
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I look at it.
I think that's a great observation.